that down, let's talk about this a little bit, shall we? You know, Guardians of the Galaxy is a massive hit, obviously. Everybody loves it. And one of the pieces of that puzzle is Pom Klementieff, of course, who plays Mantis in it. She's delightful. And while at a movie premiere, my wife was geeking out because sitting 2 seats down from us was Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, to which my wife put on her social media, I sat 2 seats away from Childish Gambino, which officially counts as our first date. Which is fine, because right next to Donald Glover, sitting next to me, was Pom Klementieff. And she looks very different outside of the Mantis makeup. And she's stunning. And she's couldn't be sweeter, all that kind of stuff. Well, James Gunn has mentioned that there is a strong possibility that some of his Guardians of the Galaxy family may come over to one of his new DC ventures. We talked the other day about Chris Pratt. Well, now Pom Klementieff has herself revealed that her and James Gunn are already talking about a specific character that she wants to play in DC, and it very well could happen. This comes from the folks over at Deadline who said this. While speaking at a comic convention, Pom Klementieff said this: I just want to keep working with James, so we're going to keep trying to find ways to do that, she added. Yes, we've been talking about one specific character, but I can't talk about that right now. And when an audience member asked her, who's the character? She's like, do you really think I'm going to answer that question? So she's like, no. I ain't going to give the answer to that question. Okay, first of all, if you have not had a chance to see Pom outside of the role of Mantis, you'd be forgiven for going, I don't know how well that would work. But if, like Ray, you saw the new Mission Impossible,
Yep.
and saw her in that, where she is terrifying. She is terrifying and wonderful. And she's got that new movie with Dave Bautista coming out, where Dave Bautista's the hitman who puts out the hit on his own life. What was the name of that movie again?
Oh.
See if you can look that up.
Yeah,
I want to be able to mention that one. But that one looks really good too. And that looked like it's going to be fun, where it looks like, you know, the Killer's Game.
Killer's Game,
That's
yeah.
what it said. Michael Burgett in the live chat was the first one to bring that up. The Killer's
Thank you,
Game.
Michael.
So that looks really good too. But I thought we'd take a moment and go, okay, let's just as fans, let's have a little fun here for a second. And let's speculate maybe a little bit about who maybe Pom Klementieff could play. So let's look now at possible Pom Klementieff DC roles, shall we? Now, of course, let me give the asterisk to this. She might be terribly wrong for any of these characters, depending on how they write the character, right? So we don't really know. So this is just for fun, Who are some characters I could see Pom Klementieff say? You know, I was telling the guys earlier, I really think Pom Klementieff could potentially blow up in this business if she wasn't so damn ugly. I mean, just, isn't that, what does Drax say about her? Homely or just what, anyway.
I forget what he calls her.
I can forget what he calls her in the movie, but anyway. So here's some possibilities. Now, I know some people are bringing up Wonder Woman. I honestly don't see her as a fit for Wonder Woman. John, she's got all the physicality. Yes, but I just don't see her as a good fit for Wonder Woman, personally. But I do think there's some other really cool characters that I think she would be great as. Starting with, in the Bat family, Huntress. I think, can you imagine Pom Klementieff? After watching the latest Mission Impossible, could you imagine her as this street level, like, weapon? I could completely see her as Huntress. Now, Mary Elizabeth Winstead just played her in Birds of Prey, The Fabulous Emancipation, One Harley Quinn. Movie I didn't like, one of the only DCEU films I didn't enjoy, even though I love Mary Elizabeth. She's fantastic. But I think Pom could bring a really interesting angle to that. So I think Pom would be interesting for Huntress. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth,
leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself.
Now, these are in no particular order, by the way. The next character I could see her possibly playing, Talia al Ghul. Come on. Now, I'm saying I've got none of these in any particular order, but Talia al Ghul might be, if I had a number one thing on this list, she might be number one on my list for this. She could play that character so well. She's got a sultriness to her. She's got an aura of violence about her. Again, if you watched her in Mission Impossible, she could definitely pull off all the physicality of it. I would completely believe she's the demon's daughter. Totally believe it. So anyway, that's the second one I would put on my list, is Talia al Ghul. Third one, I could completely see her playing. And this might be a little unknown to some people, but is the character of Artemis. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about Artemis, there was a really interesting Wonder Woman story, I think it was back in the 90s, where Themyscira, I won't go into all the backstory about Diane's mother having visions. I won't go into that, but basically it's this. On the Isle of Themyscira, they have a tournament to determine who gets to represent the island to the world of men as the Wonder Woman. And Artemis actually defeats Diana. And for a period of time in DC Comics, Artemis was different Artemis than the Green Arrow one. Different Artemis was actually our Wonder Woman. She was actually our Wonder Woman for a period of time. A very different Wonder Woman than Diana was. A very, very different Wonder Woman than Diana was. She is much more gruff, much more first reaction is to do violence on people, and her character grows. And what's really interesting is Diana continued superheroing, but as a different character. That was the era where Diana was wearing like black leather pants and a leather jacket and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's a very interesting story. Eventually, obviously, Diana becomes Wonder Woman again. But I think an Artemis character would be really, really interesting inside of a Wonder Woman story. Sticking on the theory of inside of Wonder Woman, Cheetah. I think she would be a really... Now, this would all also depend on who they cast as Wonder Woman in the new DCU. But if you could get somebody that would have really good chemistry with Pom Klementieff, especially with a lot of stuff they've been doing with Cheetah lately, I think her playing a Cheetah character would be really interesting. And again, I think she would do it very well. I think she'd be great in it. And again, depending on who you get to play Wonder Woman, chemistry would be key. I think that's something that could be really cool. The last one I'm going to put in there is a bigger one and maybe a more obvious one, but I really do believe in it. I believe she would be a great Catwoman. Now, I can already hear some people saying, but John, we already know in the new DCU, we're going to get a slightly older Batman, right? Because he's already got a kid. He's already got Damian, all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't you want somebody maybe a little bit older than Pom? But I don't think you necessarily have to have Batman and Catwoman at the same age. I don't think you have to do that. I think she can be a little bit younger than Batman, and I still think that works out really, really well. And I think it would be, I think that one would work a lot. Now, I've already seen a number of people throw in some other ideas. I did think it put about Zatanna on there. I know that was some people liked about that. Some people like Livewire, all that kind of stuff. Vixen, Poison Ivy, all that kind of stuff. Listen, there's a lot of things. I think she's a very good actress that she could be, but these are the 5. These are the 5 that I could totally see. Again, depending on how they wrote them, Huntress, Talia al Ghul would still be my number 1 for her. Artemis, Cheetah and Catwoman. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about any and all of this? And just the fact that she's saying that she is going to be in the DCU, that her and James Gunn are already talking and they're discussing a specific character that she's not willing to reveal. Do you like the idea of her coming over to the DC? And if so, who could you see her playing? Just in fun, obviously it could be anybody, but who do you see there? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.